The title of this slide here says that you are an open system. And what that means is that you're constantly exchanging with the environment outside of you. I have a few entryways and exits listed here, but there are more entryways and exits. In fact, if you get into pharmaceuticals, one of the most important areas of pharmaceuticals is drug delivery programs, right? How do you get it so that a patient is more likely to take your drug if needed? But what we have here is the respiratory system. And we know that things can get into your body in a gaseous way through the respiratory system. There's also the digestive system. And this is a major way into how things can get into your body. There are other ways. You do have some exchange with the skin, other things like that. The body, though, if it needs something, it will use it, circulate it, and then it will either store it, which as you can see here, this is storage, this is adipose fat. So if you consume excess calories, they will be stored for later use. So if you have tissues in your body that can store something, they usually will. There are some exits to the body, right? You can leave the body in urine, which many hormones do. You can leave the body in feces, which many vitamins do, or you can be exhaled, which carbon dioxide does. However, these are the only exchanges with the outside environment. The tissues of your body are served by blood vessels, and I'm drawing in some cuboidal cells on the left abdomen of this person here. And as you can see, the oxygen and the carbon dioxide are exchanged from these cells to a blood vessel. So what I'm trying to say is that your lungs don't exchange with the muscles in your feet that need oxygen. There's a blood pathway between that. And so your blood vessels are able to exchange with the outside environment. However, your blood is never fully exposed to the outside environment. If it is, you should see a doctor. Your body has something that is called fluid compartments, and this can be very difficult for students to visualize because fluid compartments are more than a concept than a reality. So, for example, let's just divide up the body. Number one, there is a liquid mass to your body, which is a little bit more than half of what you are, like maybe 55 to 60%. And then there's a solid mass, which is about 40 to 45%. So upon death, the liquids that will immediately leave your body accounts for about 55 to 60% of your mass. That's a lot of fluid to leak out after the end. All right, moving on. The liquid mass can be volume of fluid that is inside your cells, and that's what the ICF fluid compartment contains. It's about fluid that is inside your cells, not one cell, but all of them. So therefore, the ICF fluid compartment is as if we took each individual cell and squeezed out all of the fluids into one big collecting cup. I guess that would be like the waste bins when you go to taste wine. The waste bin is a collection of all of the wine glasses that people haven't drank. There's also extracellular fluid, which is any fluid that's outside of the cells. And to help students understand this, because they're like, wait a minute, what do you mean outside of the cells? There is, and let me just color in a little bit, all of your cells are actually bathing in a fluid that's between them and a blood vessel. There's all this fluid that is between an individual cell and a blood vessel. And all of this fluid is called the interstitial fluid. The prefix inter means between, Stitial means cell, and this is all the fluid that is between your cells and between your cells and a blood vessel. Interstitial fluids are extracellular fluids. They are. In this class, we're probably going to use ECF all semester, and that's going to be good enough for us. But next semester, we're going to need to separate out the components of ECF. Extracellular fluid can also occur in the plasma, or the fluid that is contained in your blood vessels. And that kind of fluid is called plasma. So we see that extracellular fluid comprises all of the fluids that are inside your blood vessels and all of the fluids that are outside your blood vessels, right? Interstitial fluid is fluid outside blood vessels and cells. Plasma is fluid that is inside your blood vessels. And both of these together make up the extracellular fluids. And so these are the three fluid compartments that we recognize. The ICF, fluid inside a cell. The IF, fluid between a cell and a blood vessel. And plasma, which is fluid that is inside a blood vessel. These last two, both together, comprise all of the fluids that are outside of your cell.